Good morning, friends around the world. Let's begin our meditation with a story by Ray Bradbury called The Last Night of the World. This was originally published in February of 1951 in an issue of Esquire magazine. Well, here it is. What would you do if you knew this was the last night of the world? What would I do? You mean seriously? Yes, seriously. I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. He poured some coffee. In the background, the two girls were playing blocks on the parlor rug. Well, better start thinking about it, he said. You don't mean it, said his wife. He nodded. A war? He shook his head. No, not the hydrogen or the atom bomb? No. Germ warfare? None of those at all, he said, stirring his coffee slowly. I don't think I understand. No. Nor do I, really. It's just a feeling. He glanced in at the girls and their yellow hair shining in the bright lamplight and lowered his voice. I didn't say anything to you. It first happened about 4 nights ago. What? A dream I had. I dreamt that it was all going to be over, and a voice said it was. Not any kind of voice I can remember, but a voice anyway. And it said things would stop here on Earth. I didn't think too much about it when I woke up the next morning. But then I went to work, and the feeling was with me all day. I caught Stan Willis looking out at the window in the middle of the afternoon, and I said to him, "Penny for your thoughts, Stan." He said, "I had a dream last night." And before he told me the dream, I knew what it was. I could have told him, but he told me, and I listened to him. It was the same dream? Yes. I told Stan I dreamed it too. Then we started walking through offices. For the hell of it. It wasn't planned. We just walked on our own. And everywhere we saw people looking at their desks or their hands or out the window, not seeing what was in front of their eyes. I talked to a few of them. So did Stan. And all of them had dreamed? All of them. The same dream with no difference. Do you believe in the dream? Yes. I've never been more certain. They sat a while, not touching their coffee. Then they lifted it slowly and drank and looked at each other. Do we deserve this? She said. I don't think it's about a matter of deserving. It's just that things didn't work out. I noticed you didn't even argue about this. Why not? I guess I have a reason, she said. The same reason everyone at the office had? She nodded. I didn't want to say anything to you. It happened last night. And the women on the block are talking about it, just among themselves. She picked up the evening paper and held it toward him. There's nothing in the news about it. No, everyone knows. So what's the need? He took the paper and sat back in his chair, looking at the girls and then at her. Are you afraid? No, not even for the children. I always thought I would be frightened to death, but I'm not. Where is the spirit of self-preservation scientists talk about so much? I don't know. The girls were laughing in the parlor as they waved their hands and tumbled down their house of blocks. I always imagined people would be screaming in the streets at a time like this. I guess not. You don't scream about the real thing. Do you know, I won't miss anything but you and the girls. I never liked cities or autos or factories or my work or anything except you three. I won't miss a thing except my family and perhaps the change in the weather and a glass of cool water when the weather's hot or the luxury of sleeping. Just little things, really. How can we sit here and talk this way? Because there's nothing else to do. That's it, of course. For if there were, we'd be doing it. Go to a show, listen to the radio, watch the TV, play cards, put the children to bed, get to bed themselves like always. In a way, that's something to be proud of, like always. We're not all bad. They sat for a moment and then he poured more coffee. Why do you suppose it's tonight? Because. Why not? Why not some night in the past 10 years, or in the last century, or 5 centuries? Maybe it's because it was never February 30th, 1951. Well, he said, what shall it be? Wash the dishes? They washed the dishes and carefully stacked them away with a special neatness. At 8:30, the girls were put to bed. They kissed the girls goodnight. They sat and read the papers and talked and listened to some radio music, and then sat together by the fireplace looking at the charcoal embers as the clock struck 10:30 and 11:30. They thought of all the other people in the world who had spent their evening, each in their own special way. Well, he said at last, he kissed his wife for a long time. We've been good for each other anyway. Do you want to cry? He asked. I don't think so. They went through the house and turned out all the lights and locked the doors, and went into the bedroom and stood in the night cool darkness undressing. She took the spread from the bed and folded it carefully over the chair, as always, and pushed back the covers. The sheets are so cool and clean and nice, she said. I'm tired. We're both tired. They got into bed and lay back. Wait a moment, she said. He heard her get up and go into the back of the house, and then he heard the soft shuffling of a swinging door. A moment later, she was back. I left the water running in the kitchen, she said, and I turned the faucet off. Something about this was so funny that he had to laugh. She laughed with him, knowing what it was that she had done that was so funny. She stopped laughing at last and lay in their cool night bed, their hands clasped, their heads together. Good night, she said, adding, my dear. Life is so precious, my friends. Let's use whatever time is left during this meditation and focus on what blessings we enjoy every day. Better yet, let's use whatever time is left during this life and focus on what blessings we enjoy every day.